WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Make sure you go lock in, tap in, and get that play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guy. It's me, really rough, feeling rough. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Man, it felt like the season just started. Like we was just sitting up here talking about how the Aces would be in the finals.
Yep.
Here they are. The Aces in the finals. Yeah. The road to get here, it was a lot. Wasn't expecting a lot of it. Jewel Lloyd being a shell of herself, not in my forte, but you know what? Money's money. And sure enough, us and a famous friend of the program, Who's Their Stan, have bets on the Aces.
He didn't post it though after beating the Fever, and I'm kind of pissed
Yeah.
off.
No, I'm actually concerned. Like, do you think he's okay?
I feel like he's either not wanting to jinx it or he forgot. I'm gonna say number.
I think something's wrong. Maybe I'm pessimistic.
No, because he interacts with me on my other posts on Twitter, so he's fine.
Okay, so he's there.
Forgot to post it.
He's there. He just forgot. Okay. All right. Because when I didn't see it, I'm like,
you're running out of time though, man. You got to post it before game one.
Yeah, I was very nervous. I really was. I thought something bad. Like, you know how Scorigami didn't post? Like, I thought something bad happened to him. All right. Man, if you don't know who that is, that's Scott Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Feels good. I got a nice sweep in the last episode for Game 5. For the lock, I had Chelsea Gray over on the assists. She got hurt, but you know what? She powered through. Went over, ended up with 6. It's a nice win there. For the dog, I had the reverse correlated parlay. I had Odyssey over 9.5, who was hooping, by the way. She was phenomenal in Game 5. I had the 9.5 points parlayed with the Aces money line. Not easy, but you know what? A win's a win. That was plus 139. Nice sweep. Nice way to end the conference finals. Let's carry it over into the finals. But before I actually get into that, though, I do want to at least talk about Game 5. We kind of have to. What a game. A lot of fun, but Odyssey tried her best. They fell a little bit short, but she cashed me a parlay, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that, the Kelsey Mitchell injury is just really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Especially for those who were on the points and not the threes. Threes cash, points didn't. But what I will say is that, one, Asia Wilson inevitable.
What, you have 35?
Oh, dude. And it was about time she had a back-to-back game in the series. So, it was all right there. But the Aces did the Aces things that they've been doing for a little while now of like, oh, yeah, we're just going to wait till the last possible second to win this game. Because I just kept imagining this random 3 from the Fever that just went in, and you're just and you look up and it's Fever up 1 with 2 seconds left, and I'm like, oh no, are we about to get here? Is this gonna happen? It would have been one of the greatest upsets I've seen.
Well, based on the odds, definitely would have been, but the Aces survived. We almost had exact deja vu from the first round series. Jackie at back rim on the offensive rebound, right under the glass, right under the rim there in regulation. Yep. And then, of course, they blew them out in overtime. The Fever just ran out of gas, and the Aces turned it up a bit. But we were right about the game. The Aces covered. That was never in doubt, right? 7.5.
Very good. 8.5. Very good.
We 1 to 10. Thought they'd win by 10. They were close to that, and either way, they covered. So, yeah, we got everything right, basically, for the game.
It was literally the exact handicap of the fouls in the end are going to be the thing that pushes us over.
We thought it'd be in regulation, not overtime, but you know what? It still counts.
It's just we went to overtime. Come on.
And the game went over. So we got basically everything right for that game. But Yeah, it was definitely an entertaining Game 5. Usually in the NBA, you get blowouts in elimination games or win-or-go-home games. WNBA delivered. We've had a bunch of really close elimination games so far in this postseason. Fever beating the Dream on the road. You had the Game 3 between the Storm and the Aces. You had the, of course, Game 5 between the Aces and the Fever. A lot of games delivering with the actual stakes and with the overall hype. And we'll see what happens we get in this series because we have 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
A reminder, we extended the series. We have 7 games. But anything you want to add for the final wrap-up here of the Aces and Fever series?
No, actually, I want to get over to the next breaking news here.
All right, that's fine.
Kathy, you about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Said she about to lose her job.
My question is, though, if there are no games taking place on the day that her job was suddenly on the hot seat, does that count as getting fired on your day off? Or are you constantly working around the clock as commissioner? How does that work?
I feel this might be a combination of. Well, I don't know if she's working. I think a proper commissioner is probably working.
Yeah,
she's
probably
not working. Man, Fee aired her ass out.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't even gonna hold you. I think that one, it was hilarious. There's so many different levels to this. One, I thought it was very funny how she decided to do it at the exit interview. Then I thought it was hilarious how immediately after she finished the first question asked, so if you win a championship, are we still talking about this? Like, what a dick. As soon as she went on a 2-minute rant, and the person that got because look, and I'll tell you a little look behind the camera. All WNBA pressers are the exact same. They're super simple. There's no system to it at all. Whoever has the microphone is going first. If you walk in there and you grab that microphone that's sitting there on that table, you're going first. That's just it. It's no orders, just nothing. Then just pass it from the mic around. The fact that you grabbed the microphone, you sat with the microphone in your hand for 2 minutes, and then went. So if you win a championship, are we still talking about this? How messy is that? Like, oh, dude. And then we go and we talk about the actual content of what she said and airing out a conversation that y'all had in Unrivaled. I would love to hear, because I saw Kathy's response and I read her response. And if you haven't read it, read it, because it also puts into she tries to play the angle of like they were talking about something else and
it was out of context. It wasn't my fault.
It was like out of but like
no, it wasn't.
How if you said those words? How is that like? Wait,
you basically said you're the reason why Caitlin Clark has made that much money. There is no context. You're just wrong. That's just incorrect.
And so I sent Scott a text, and I was like, "Real WNBA fans and Caitlin Clark fans hating Kathy," and I had the Bloods versus Crip unity.
They tied the bend,
because yo, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, okay, I get what you're kind of trying. Like, I kind of get what she's trying to say. Like, if there was no WNBA, people just wouldn't be paying attention to just college basketball overall, because like, where are you going from it? Like, there would be a lot less people.
Yeah.
But like, that's just completely not the case. Like, that's not the case.
No, if there was no league, she'd be Cheryl Miller of this generation.
Like, yeah, like, and everybody was still watching Cheryl Miller with no lead. Like, so I think she's hilarious. I think she's funny. I think Fee also has some like
beef.
I'm curious on what the conversation is, because I'm wondering why Fee sat on it for so long, and it must have been very strategic to sit on it this long.
Well, you can argue maybe because of exit interviews. Sorry to interject, but maybe she was just letting the team do their thing. Yeah. And once the season was over, said, screw it, I got something to say.
Potentially. And it seems like this was always going to come at a time, because they are in a CBA negotiation, and CBA's up this year. So if they don't figure something out after this year, there's a lockout next year. And so they're still doing all those negotiations, trying to get more money and all of that. And that's what their initial meeting was about. But I just think it's really, really funny that like they had this conversation. This is some juicy intel. I don't know what fees part of the conversation was. Like, was this a, because it could have been like she said that and fees just started laughing. Ah, ha, 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 you're funny. Or was it like no, you're dead ass wrong. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm curious on what her response was in the moment. But
Well, I do want to point out, though, I think she was sitting on it because of the fact that, one, I have to agree with what Oracle's saying, and the fact that Fee is a member of a different league. So you can argue that that was why it came up, because maybe they're talking about getting Caitlyn to join the league. There are probably some
what
context
does that
there.
mean? I mean, but what is that? That doesn't mean anything for them, though. Because
No, but the point is, I'm
I
saying
feel like if
Kathy
you're already
might have been being
making,
territorial, saying, like, you'll never catch up with WNBA. We are responsible for Caitlyn having this much money. It might have just been like a flex, which is completely wrong. But I think it could have been that type of combative.
like, I could understand if this was a 5-on-5 league and you're saying that, that's a direct like conflict of interest, maybe, but this is a 3-on-3 basketball league. Like, you guys don't even watch 3-on-3 basketball. Like, no, there's no conflict of interest here. It's literally a couple of months in the off season because the WNBA season is so short. And then they have so much time in the off season and so many people want to work on their game and get better opportunities that, like, I don't know. I don't really get, like, I don't see the conflict of interest of her being a co-owner in this league and in the W negotiating CBAs. And then also, she's not even the person that's like doing the major negotiations. She's a rep, but like, they have a whole WNBA PA that is handling a lot of this stuff and a leaderboard that's handling a lot of that shit. So
yeah, personally, I'm not really looking at the conflict of interest part, but I do think it is worth mentioning that the actual context of these messages could have been, I'm head of WNBA, you're involved in this rival league, we're responsible for Caitlyn, you're never going to catch up to us. It could be
Oracle,
a beef thing.
I would like to know, what is the benefit from a lockout, because the unrivaled season, WNBA season, do not happen at all. It's not like if you don't have WNBA, Unrivaled is going to be like, oh yeah, let's just go throw these games out here and make money. No, they have a season that is in March and the WNBA is in May. So I don't really know.
Unless the argument is, in theory, they could reboot a second season or do a big three.
Why would you do that? That's not how that works, though.
Like, no, it's not how it works.
That's not how that works.
Just saying.
Yeah, like, you don't just go the big three. If the NBA had a lockout, the big three wouldn't just say, oh yeah, let's just have more games and come on over here, NBA players, and we're gonna profit. No, like, no, the NBA has their audience and it's gonna be that. Unrival's audience isn't the NBA's audience.
The last point I'll make, though, just for this whole talking point, she clearly was sitting on this information because she printed out a piece of paper. She had a letter that she read. She didn't write that post game in the locker room after they lost game 4. Like, she clearly had that prepared. You could argue since she was injured, maybe she wrote it after, but that assumes that she was expecting her team to lose, which I don't see happening. So to answer your first question, I think that she had this sitting for a while. Because
no, she clearly had it sitting, but I'm just like, I was curious. I'm messy. I was curious on, like, so was you in there he with her when she said it, or was you in there like, you wrong? Like what was you doing? Like, what was the conversation?
I don't know, but I think we can all read from what we can gather with regard to the lockout that's going to happen, with regard to whether it was out of context or not, Kathy's comments. She does look pretty incompetent as a commissioner. So getting somebody else new in there might be good for the growth of the league. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, easily. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand what the issue is. I don't understand what the WNBA's office issue is with the CBA and them making more money if it's relative to the revenue that's coming in. I could understand if you're like you're asking for something that we don't even, but if it's like, oh, we're asking for, I don't even know what, 50%, 40%. Like what? Like
you can also negotiate, though, like how much money's guaranteed,
jersey
and how
sales,
much of other stuff.
Yeah, like jersey sales, all this. Like, I just don't understand why you don't want to pay them. Like, why? Like, what's the reason for not? Yeah, like it's got to be greed. Like,
I mean, it's why there's always a lockout in different sports. It's because of greed. The owners want to keep a certain percentage of the pie. The players want some, and they go from there. And they probably compromise somewhere in the middle. It's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Unless you're the NBA, because I don't know what the hell that last negotiation was, but we'll see what happens.
Last piece, shout out to Alyssa Thomas for not having a comment. I can't wait till the end of the season to see if she actually does say something, or if she's just going to be like, I know I'd be smacking y'all in y'all head. All right. We've got the WNBA Finals to talk about here. We'll get through series previews, player props. We'll get into game one, all of that going on. Download the SGPN app, though. Get all the picks, podcast, everything over there at the SGPN network, from WNBA Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast. You've got NFL Prop Cash. You've got MLB still going. Hockey is going. All of it. We got a podcast for almost every single sport. So go check it out at the Sports Gambling Podcast app in your app store. All right. Let's get into it. Actually, no, let's just do this now, Scott. MyBookie.ag. Your place to bet every single sport, including the WNBA Finals. Anything, anywhere, anytime. That is my bookie's motto. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and get lightning fast payouts using cryptocurrency. Head over to mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN for 100% bet bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. And since Novig isn't changed, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend just $5 when you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig at promo code SGPN. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Louise. Louise, when's the last time anything good has happened in the sports of Arizona?
I'm trying to think anything. Before Durant played any games, they got Durant. They made the finals. They were up 2-0 at one time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We don't talk about the rest of that series, but they were up 2-0 at one point.
Yeah. You're right. Hey, 4 straight. That was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Good time. Throwback. All right. Let's get into it. WNBA Finals. We've got the Las Vegas Aces going up against the Phoenix Mercury here. The series price on the money line for the Las Vegas Aces, you can get about minus 135, plus 115 for the Phoenix Mercury. On the spread, plus 1.5 for the Phoenix Mercury is minus 185. Aces laying 1.5 is plus 150.
We were pretty close, though. We said Aces 140, give or take.
Yep.
Yeah, we're only right there.
Just about on the mark. All right, Scott, this is the first time. Well, I think this deserves a drop. In case you didn't know, this is the first time the WNBA Finals will be decided by a best of 7. It has been a best of 5 since 2005, when Pop Quiz, the Sacramento Monarchs, won that series against which current WNBA team, Scott?
Okay, let me think about this. The Monarchs ended up beating.
I have a hint, and I know for a fact if I say the hint, you will immediately know who it is.
I don't think it'd be I'm going to say the Sparks.
No.
Okay.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Oh. Okay. So I'm assuming that it is the Mercury.
No.
Is it the Sun?
There we go.
I mean, I was basically thinking of whichever team Alyssa Thomas is on, because that's the summary of her career. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Those are the Sun.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Connecticut Sun yet again in the finals and taking another loss. Yes. But here we are. So here's my thoughts on the series. And I think that this is a different Aces team in years past. And I would like to compare them to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Because there was one point where the Kansas City Chiefs were all flash. Everything was flash. Bombs down the field from Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. You're over there, you're looking at the box score, and it looks like a Madden game. And it's week 3. They're really beating up on people like that. They're going through the play and they're just rolling through the playoffs as they're going into these championships. That's what the Aces did. But this year in the playoffs, oh no, they took that Chiefs. They said, no, we just need a win. We don't gotta embarrass nobody. We just need a win. We just gotta get up out of here. Somehow they didn't sweep the Seattle Storm. Somehow they really almost lost that series to the Indiana Fever. And it just feels like they've been playing it real close to the hip And if you lock into Aces fans on Twitter, you'll see they're like, yo, stop making us go crazy and have a heart attack over every win. Like, can we ever just get it easy? It's never easy with the Aces. I don't think it's going to be easy. I really don't think it's going to be easy with Alyssa Thomas on the other side and her realizing that she has another shot at this and a very good roster to get it done. I don't think it'll be easy with Nate Tibbetts, who I think is a really solid head coach. And again, it seems like the NBA experience has come into play with the top tier of the head coaches in the WNBA. And so I think that this is a very contested, battled out, back and forth series. I think they're going to use all 7 games, Scott. And ultimately, I think that maybe just the little things for Tibbetts, the little coaching mishaps here or there, like you got to be perfect to win a championship. And I think those might be the little things, the little coaching things here. I'm concerned about the defense of the Phoenix Mercury in this series because while they're a really good defense, they have issues stopping the Aces. They have not beaten the Aces this year with Asia Wilson in the lineup. Or as Sean would say, anytime that Asia Wilson has started and finished a game, they have won against the Phoenix Mercury this year. And so very, very slight on the Aces, man. It is really, really close, but I'm gonna stick with the preseason bet. I would honestly change my mind if I felt like I had a good argument for the Mercury, but it's so close. I think it's really close.
Yeah, I agree. I think the deciding factor for me is home court in Game 7. And even with that being the case, it has not been easy for the Aces because so far in regulation, of the 2 elimination games they've had, they've won by 1 point at home in regulation. They went to overtime, they beat the Storm by 1. So it has not been a dominant home court like the Thunder, for example, won every home game basically by 20 points. But you know what? Winning's winning. And I do think it matters when you have a home court in the biggest games of the series. Now, I think no matter who wins, it's going to be a war. I don't see either team winning in 4 or 5. Barring injury, of course. I think it's going 6 or 7 if I had to give an actual length prediction. That's why I do think there is a couple of good points being made in the comment section. I do think that the Mercury are the deeper team. More complete, I don't know if I agree, but I think they are deeper. I can agree with you there. So I think it's going to be a close matchup. I think it's going to come down to the wire. If you're asking for my exact length in the series, my prediction, I'd go Aces in 7. Do I feel great about it? No. I think it could go either way. But if I had to go for percentage chance of victory, 53-47. And all
close, dude. Like
in the world. Like I think it's close to 50-50, but I'll give the Aces a slight edge because I think Asia's Asia. That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to go with the Aces, but if you wanted to argue about the Mercury, I'm not going to fully disagree with you. I think you can find better prices mid-series on both teams potentially, and you might be able to find yourself a nice automatic win with good plus. If you think, for example, the Mercury win Game 1, then you can get the Aces at a massive amount of plus money. And if not, you might find good opportunities to take the Aces alive in the series. I see it going back and forth. I see road teams winning. I see a lot of drama, and I see 7 games. That's where I'm at. Give me the Aces in 7. Yeah. At the end of the day, I know the Chiefs did get killed by the Eagles last year in the Super Bowl, but you know the saying, in order to be the champion, you got to beat the champion. And the Aces, I know, had a year or 2 where the Liberty won, but for the most part, the Aces have been the franchise that you try to model yourself after because they run the league almost. I do think I'll pick them to get the job done again, even though they have scared everybody every step of the way.
Yeah. It's not going to be. If it was a reasonable price on Mercury plus 1.5, I would take it.
We said 140. Like if it was Aces 150 or higher, I would take the Mercury for value.
Yeah.
I think this price feels right for me.
I can't do minus 185 on Mercury plus 1.5. That's crazy. Like if it was like Mercury plus 1.5 minus 115, that would be the bet, and I'd just call it a day. Game goes 7th, the Mercury get the win, then you know what? It's cool. But yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let's get into series player props. Points. I mean, do you want to take a stab at any? Well, let's just say this. First of all, I know Stewie was already banged up going into it, but no Stewie the first series for the Mercury, or like Stewie goes down, gets
She was
hurt.
great in the final game, but
Yeah, but
definitely
she-
not a Liberty team we were really sold on the entire
Yeah,
season.
so Stewie wasn't 100%. Fee ended up going down and didn't play the last game.
For the record, they might have won that series anyway, but we have to at least point out that both Brianna and Fee were not 100% for their series. We have to bring it up.
And so
Then again, the
Magic-
Aces had no Caitlin.
the only way Asia doesn't win series leader total points is Magic Voodoo, or I'll say this, because we can, and this will kind of parlay into finals MVP a little bit too.
Mhm.
Jackie Young at 25-1.
Okay.
Finals MVP and series leader points. I think I'd rather just take finals MVP, but if there's a world where AT just says, I am not letting Asia be amazing, that's it. I'm not letting her be amazing.
Could be
I'm
a coach
letting-
thing, though, if they just send doubles at her the entire
And
time.
they could do
hope
that
for the best.
too. And they could do that too. If they do that, they're almost certain to lose this series, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Because Jackie Young's going to torch them up. And it's her turn. Chelsea got one. Asia got one. And we know WNBA voters, Scott, they're not married to the best person on the team when it comes to voting for that finals MVP.
No, John Quell got it last year.
They are not married at it. Not at all. So I think this is a nice little price at Jackie Young, 25-1. If you decide what you want to do, points leader, finals MVP, I have finals MVP, but they're both the same price. It's really like no other choice for me for points leader here. But to bring that over to finals MVP, I really want to take a stab at like one of the, Satu at 10-1 feels mispriced.
Do you want to read off the odds
Yeah.
first?
So we got Asia Wilson -125, Alyssa Thomas +170, Satu Sabali 10-1, Kalia Copper 18-1, Jackie Young 25-1, Chelsea Gray 100-1, DeWanna Bonner 150-1, Jewel Lloyd 200-1. Jesus Christ. Dana Evans 250-1, Natasha Mack 400-1, and Monique Kona Makani 400-1 as well. That's it. So,
I know we've seen this before where the best player does not always win finals MVP.
Yeah.
I really don't know how anybody not named Alyssa Thomas wins MVP for the Mercury. Because even if her teammates get involved, I mean, she's getting assists. AT is probably going to walk into it at least, like 15-9-7, 15-9-8. Her all-around stats are too good. I got to imagine she wins it by default.
I want to say she goes down in usage every time she plays. Not usage, but she goes down in production when she plays the Aces.
I mean, that's a lot of
for
regular
obvious
season
reason.
stuff too. But
I mean, yeah, but like, I get it. She's played the Aces in the playoffs as well.
I'm just wondering, like, what argument are you going to make for other players? Satu, I know, can maybe go crazy. Copper is kind of taking a back seat as the third option, which has worked out well, but I don't know if she'd win finals MVP. I don't really see many options here. You're reading off the odds, and you have AT at 120, Satu at 11-1, Copper at 22-1, and the next highest person is DeWanna Bonner at 175-1. So you basically have a limited number of options for Mercury MVP winners. I think it's just AT. I know Satu, maybe if she averages 20 and change and goes crazy from three, she's got a shot. But just based on AT finally getting over the hump, beating this team, you could argue being robbed of MVPs in the regular season the last couple of years. Aren't they just going to give it to her with her averaging probably 9 rebounds and 7 assists? I just don't know how they don't give it to her.
Yeah, I think so too. I do too. I'm really
The Aces are a discussion because we've seen other players win it besides Asia. But I think for a first title, AT would just get it. That's where I'm at.
So I'm trying to pull up the actual numbers. So what did she have? She had in that 2022 finals, AT had 14.8 points, almost 10 rebounds. And with Jonquel still next to her, Jesus, and 7.8 assists. So yeah,
I said 15, 9, and 8.
15,
Yeah,
15 9,
right.
and 8. Yeah. So yeah, that's tough to beat, man. That's
With
really
this
tough
team?
to beat. Like, I mean, no, well, if I had somebody, I think it would be Ka. But I just don't think she's gonna get it twice. And that's the only thing that pulled me off of putting a little sprinkle on Ka 18-1. And it's because I just don't think she's gonna get a second one. She already got the first one. And AT's too good. If it's close, they're just like you said, they're just gonna go AT.
And she has no regular season MVPs. So that helps for the narrative purpose of getting her a finals MVP.
Yeah.
So I mean, for example, you have the Lynx from last year. Do you think anybody besides Collier was going to win Finals MVP?
I still
Courtney, maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say I still had hope for Courtney.
Okay, but point is, you can argue a narrative in place. AT does no MVPs in the regular season. They'll give her a Finals one. So I think she's the shoe-in if the Mercury win the title. The Aces, you could have a conversation about Jackie or Asia, etc. But I think that it's a 3-horse race personally. It's Asia, it's AT, and it's Jackie. That's what I got for MVP. Do you have any other names you want to throw out there, or do we agree?
No. That's it. I just didn't play. The number's too short for me to play AT.
Yeah,
So
I'm not playing it
I just
either.
rode with the Jackie. I just rode with the Jackie, and same thing with Asia. I mean, very good chance Asia just walks out with another final. Like that's somebody that can win multiple finals MVP.
Yeah.
And
well, she's the best player of all time. So
minus 125. It's other bets that we could do. All right.
Yeah.
Let's keep on going here. We've got this is a competitive market. Threes leader here. Satu Sabli plus 115, Jackie Young plus 450, Sammy Whitcomb 5-1, Clea Copper 7-1, Jewel Lloyd 8-1, Chelsea Gray 30-1, Catherine Westbeld 100-1, Asia Wilson 200-1. Come on now.
I know Satu's been chucking them because she's averaging over 7 threes per game in the postseason, but I can't take plus 115. That line's too short for me. Whitcomb is second in attempts at 5.1. She is shooting so far poorly from 3, shooting 27.8% from 3. Did make the big shot against the Lynx in that series. I didn't mind Sammy at 5-1. That's solely what her role is, to shoot threes. That was my initial thought for odds. I didn't mind Sammy at 5-1.
Well,
are we aligned on that, or do we?
Yes, we are. I have 2. I picked 2, and you just picked one of them correctly. So yes, Sammy Whitcomb, even though she is shooting, she also went against the Liberty and the
Lynx,
the Lynx, defense, and the Aces don't defend the 3 as well. Actually, worst defending 3 against the 3 in the playoffs thus far. And so Sammy Whitcomb, I already got down on that. I think that's a pretty good bet there. I also took Jackie Young because Sammy Whitcomb comes from her being consistent, and then she has the big 4-3 game at home, a big 4-3 game in game 5 on the road. Like she just has those couple of big games, and next thing you know, she's got like a 2-3 lead or something like that. So that's why I like Sammy there. I like Jackie because Jackie could just real live hit 2 to 3 every single game and win. Like her consistency alone could be the reason that she wins this. It could be Satu because Satu's chucking them, and Satu is going to be in the conversation, but I just didn't want it at that price.
There's no value at plus 115 for me.
Yeah.
And for the record, by the way, Jackie is the only person on the entire Aces playoff roster that's attempting more than 4.4 threes per game.
Okay.
She's averaging 5.3. So she is a full 3 ahead of Jewel for attempts. So I got Jackie and Sammy, the 2 that you said. Unless you want to make an argument for Copper.
No, I tried. I couldn't do it.
Okay. So we're aligned on that one.
Rebounds leader, Asia Wilson, minus 340. Alyssa Thomas, plus 250. Satu, 25-1. Natasha Mack, 101. Melissa Smith, 101. Jackie Young, 101. DeWanna Bonner, 101. Chelsea Gray, 101.
Do you want to make a case for Satu here, or is it just chalk?
No, I if there was a case for anybody, it's Mack.
Really?
Mack could legitly have double-digit rebounds from. Like, what else is she doing out there? What else is she doing? What else is she doing out there other than rebounding? This is literally the whole reason that she even has a roster spot on this team. To rebound.
I mean, yeah, she basically is what Stokes used to be for the Aces.
Like she doesn't score at all. It's not like she helped facilitate anything. She's literally just there to stand under the rim.
It's about minutes, though. She's playing about 15 minutes per game. Satu's playing 34. AT's playing 34. AT's playing 37. I mean, to read off the rebounding numbers so far in the postseason, AT is averaging 8.4. Satu's averaging 7.4. Nobody else is averaging more than 3.3. So there's only two people that are basically grabbing rebounds for this entire team. Now, matchup-wise, maybe Mac plays more, but she's playing 15 minutes per. I can't take Mac in this market.
It's 100-1.
Yeah, I get it. I just
100-1. They gotta win. They gotta win the rebound battle. You gotta have all three of them out there to get that done.
Oh, I think they have to win the rebounding battle. I just think AT and I think Satu's got value at 10 times the price of AT, and she's only one rebound behind her per game. I think Satu's got value.
She's had, what is this? 10, 6, 5, and 7 against them this season. Okay. That is a respectable amount, yeah. Especially if you add into the fact of Asia and AT cancel each other out every single time they play this game. Every time they cancel each other out. So, like, man, if she just had, like, I think that it should be closer. I understand the minutes concern, but if they give her, because it's not like she's foreign to getting minutes. If they give her some type of consistency here, because they need her on the glass, and the size of her Satu AT is out there, oh, dude, I can talk myself into 100-1. At 100-1, I'll get down at 100-1 on Natasha Mack. I'm not saying it's gonna win, but at 100-1, I'll get down.
I'll pass on that, but I'll take Satu at 25-1.
Satu is also interesting at 25-1. I would not take. I would not. I definitely can't. I can't. It's not that I would not.
Asia's 340. I can't do that.
No. I cannot take Asia.
And we saw them get killed by the Fever by the boards for most of the series. So there is a path for a Mercury player to win that market, even if they lose the series.
And AT doesn't rebound the best when she goes against Aces. So I am not looking into playing AT either. It would be Satu and Mac for me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close it out. Minus 2,000. AT is to lead the series in assists, Scott.
I mean, I think she's going to lead, but it would be point guard if anybody else, but that's it.
Chelsea Gray, 14-1. Jackie Young, 40-1. Sammy Whitcomb, 100-1. Everybody else, Akoa Makani, Satu Sabli, Dana Evans, Asia Wilson, all 201. So
Jackie had 10 last game, but you're not catching AT with one good game. You need a full series.
All the history between her and the Aces shows that they make the game tougher on AT, and all the really big AT PRA games do not happen against the Aces. Now, if you telling me that Chelsea Gray has a potential to just lead the series in assists, and I'm getting 14-1, I don't care who's on the other side of the ball. I don't care who's out there. I'm taking a stab at that. What do you mean? It's Chelsea Gray. She could literally sit there at 8 assists and lead. It could be like
that's the only player that I think has a shot at it besides AT. I know Jack had a great assist game in Game 5 against the Fever. Chelsea's assists have been good. I've been backing it. That's the only option I have.
I don't think that the gap between Chelsea and Jackie is large enough for 40-1, to be honest. I don't think it's that big, because Jackie will still come out here and you'll look up and she'll have 7 assists in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's large enough where, and especially if this is the Jackie Young, just do points, rebounds, assists, do it all. Especially with Chelsea Gray. And as of this year, we look at her over the course of the year and she hasn't played. The assists have been really good recently, but they were not good over the course of the whole season.
I just expect one Jackie game in there with 1 or 2 assists and it kills the entire market, basically.
And it could potentially but she could also have those 5 games. Like she has a lot of 5 assist games. Jackie Young at 40-1 is mispriced. I will say that. I think that should be a lot closer at maybe like 25-1.
I can agree with you there. I don't think she's going to win the market.
But it's because AT is minus 2,000.
Yeah.
Like AT, my dog, but minus 2,000. You're literally saying there's no shot that she cannot be the assist leader. And I don't think that's the case.
Chelsea's the only person I'd consider personally. But
all right. Now we'll get into game one. But before we do that, gotta make sure that I talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. We'll drop an underdog lineup at the end of our game one preview, so make sure you stick around for that. But you know that that's where you can go and win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower your favorite player's fantasy stats, and you could have a chance to win that money. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up and use that promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Hot start in college football in the NFL. And now they got their new leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets. All you gotta do is track 5 bets from the same type of any model that you build, and you could win $1,000. Just like that. $1,000. So make sure you head over there. Promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right. It is time. Let's get ready to rumble. I don't have the drop, so I had to say it out loud. We've got the Las Vegas Aces at home welcoming the Phoenix Mercury. Mercury laying 3.5. I'm sorry. Aces laying 3.5 at home here. 159.5 is the total. Total, I'm seeing get up to as high as 160.5, and then there was buyback down. It opened up 158.5, got up to 160.5, buyback down to 159.5. Just letting you know what I saw. Here we are. So, I have to point out again, it's really hard to beat the Aces at home in the playoffs. I understand you saw what the Indiana Fever did. It doesn't happen too many times, guys. My concern is that, Jesus Christ, the Aces wait till the last goddamn second.
Yeah. They can win and not cover this. That would not actually.
Dude, like that would be fucking annoying. Oh my god, it would be so annoying. Aces 1-10 is like virtually good in my book, but ultimately, I'm very curious to see how, and I don't want to go too heavy on this early on because I don't have the right read that I want to have on the Phoenix Mercury right now because this is something different. This is actually a completely different situation. And Scott, we're betting this and handicapping this for the first time. This is a 7-game series.
Yeah.
The thought process changes. The travel changes. Like, this is an adjustment for everybody. The number of games is an adjustment for everybody. Like, you think that you could be up out of here, hurt in game 5, and you still got potentially 2 more games to go here. So
fatigue should play a factor because nobody's been to 7 games before. So
never. And the Aces have found a way to play every single possible game that they could up to this point. I still think the Aces are going to get this done. I think that I am committed to the thought of I do like this Phoenix Mercury team defensively, Scott. But I just don't think that they have enough options to guard the Aces when Asia's in the lineup. And she opens things up and makes things easier for Jackie Young. If Chelsea Gray decides to come in and have a game like that, it all depends on all those other role players. Who is playing well? Is Chelsea Gray playing well? Is Dana Evans playing well? Is Jewel Lloyd playing well? Is Melissa Smith playing well? Where do all those players play best at? In Las Vegas. Is really hard for me to sit here and think that they're just going to go down again twice in a row, dropping game 1 at home, and they rarely ever drop home games. And the line is short enough where if they get the win, I just have to assume that they're going to do it by 4 points. But it's a way that they could really just win by 2 and piss me off. But I'm laying the number with the Aces. I'm going to continue to go the way of the future of how we had this predicted. I thought that the Phoenix Mercury were a team that could get to the finals during the season, but it was always that thing of they lose focus. Maybe there's no chance to lose focus because you're in the WNBA Finals and they look great. But it's too many times where I feel like they lose focus. You saw it in the series with the Minnesota Lynx where they allowed the Minnesota Lynx in the games that they did come back in those games. They allowed themselves to even be down at home for a possibility of this going back to a game 5 that you absolutely could not happen. You had them go and lose the first game at home against the New York Liberty and put themselves in a horrible position where they have to a must win on the road game. Must win on the road game. Like, I just don't like the situations that this Mercury team puts themselves in, and a lot of it is of their own volition. And so I'm gonna go Aces, and I'm gonna lay the 3.5 in game one.
I'm going to disagree. I am picking the Aces to win the series. I have Aces in 7. But the beauty of 7 games is you can actually lose a home game and your entire series isn't dead yet.
Yep.
I think the Mercury win game 1. I think that it's a bad spot for the Aces. Yes, I know there's been some time off. They did go to overtime last game. Mercury have been chilling for a while because they won in 4 against the Lynx. So maybe you could argue rust plays a factor.
I was about to say, is this Mercury team one of those teams that you want coming off of rest?
I was going to say, we don't know. We're going to find out. But I do think the Mercury can make life difficult for the Aces early. We said before that the Aces are not guaranteed to cover even when they win games.
Nope.
So there is a chance the Mercury and the Aces have a one-possession thriller down the stretch. And I want the 3.5 in that spot. But I think game 1 will be very close. I do think the Mercury can throw defensive looks at the Aces to keep them off guard. I do think the Mercury, as of right now, have looked fearless, and I do appreciate that. The fact is they've been able to win series-clinching games against the Lynx despite falling behind a lot early. They could have rolled over. They outscored the Lynx 31-13 in the fourth quarter. They were able to beat the Liberty on the road in game 2 handily. They won game 3 as well. They've answered every question that I have. And the Aces, you could argue, as a kind of a negative point against them, they faced 2 inferior teams and got pushed to the brink, beating Seattle barely at home. The Fever team, which none of us gave them a chance, they were like minus 1,000 favorites pre-series, and they almost lost that too. So at least the Mercury have beaten better competition, arguably more convincingly. And the Aces have had a pretty easy path, and they've still made a mess of it. They've survived. They haven't looked impressive in the process. I think the Mercury can pull off game 1. So I'll go Mercury game 1 personally. I still think it's Aces in 7, but I think that the road team will win a couple of games in the series. Give me Mercury to still game 1. We saw the Fever do it. I don't know why the Mercury can't do it. Give me Mercury money line.
Fun fact, only because it goes in my direction. Mercury 5-6 ATS with the rest advantage.
Okay.
So, thought that would pull it up, but they are 8-3 straight up. Aces are 10 well, that makes sense. 10-4 straight up with the rest disadvantage. Fun little nugget that I found there. Yeah, this is gonna be crazy. We're already starting out on opposite sides. That means we're gonna be on opposite sides the entire way, Scott.
I know that. I mean, if we're going zigzag theory, then maybe. But if we think
You're
most
not?
games, probably I am.
I was about to say you're not.
if we think most games end up being very, very close, you're going to give me basically plus 140 when I think most of these games come down to the wire. I don't mind 140 for a money line price.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Scott. I'm going light on game 1 because I'm 100% diving into zigzag theory here. We're going, zigzag theory the whole way through the finals. That'd be great. All right. Totals at 159.5. I don't really have a thoughts.
I'll mention the regular season numbers. Not that it really matters because playoff basketball is different, but to read off the actual totals we've had in the regular season so far, we had 146, 165, 169, 144. So smack in the middle.
Yeah.
2-2 for this number.
But now take out the first game where Asia didn't play.
Yeah. So 2 of the 3 games broke at least 165.
That's what I kind of feel too, man. Like I kind of think that I just think it's going to be tough on both sides of the ball. It's too much talent.
And going over.
And while they're both 2 really good defensive teams, if the Mercury push the pace in this game, yeah, I think I like over. I don't really feel one way or another. All I know is the Aces team total is sitting there at, you could get 81.5, or you could lay a little bit of a juice and get 80.5. That feels about right. That feels like I would take an over there. So I guess I like an over for the game.
Yeah, we already had a pretty solid read on the total in Game 5 because everyone was on the under. It was an elimination game, winner go home. At no point did we hesitate from the over, and the over cashed easily before overtime. It was really never in doubt. I'm going to go under in Game 1. I'm going to disagree here.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
about right for you.
I do think the finals are going to bring a certain intensity. I'm hoping that we don't get a ref show in this game. We'll see, but I do think with the final stakes, I can see one quarter really killing the pace here. Fourth quarter turns into an absolute slugfest. I can see that happening. But I think the Mercury, if they're going to win, they're going to play good defense. Just as simple as that. I think the Mercury defensively have proven against the Lynx and against the Liberty, they can buckle down. And I do think that will be the reason why I'm picking them to win this game. I think defensively, they'll have some answers for the Aces. I think Becky will make some adjustments, and we'll see what happens in Game 2. But you could argue it's maybe correlated. I think if the Mercury win, there's a good chance of an under. So I'm going to go under. I think they play good defense. I think they find a way to steal it.
All right. Player props. Let's see. Where are we started? What's the chat said? Asia. Oh, they're asking about Asia. Well, she does have good games against AT. AT gets her number sometimes too. But I will admit, one of these games was because they were beating the shit out of him so bad. They were beating the shit out of him so bad that she stopped playing. So I'm going to go over. Over 26.5. They did move it up for good reason. Now 26.5 makes you think a little bit. Just a little bit though. Still going the same route. Give me over. All right.
I'll start off with Copper. I'll take the under 16.5 points. Wow. I see minus 102. I think the price feels generous. You're looking at her numbers recently.
The only Finals MVP on this team.
I was going to say I know, but in the last 5 games against the Aces, she scored less than 16 in all 5. So I have to point out that she usually tops out at 15. Not great recently. She had 2 good games against the Lynx. Besides that, though, she has gone under this number in 7 of the last 9. So I do think it's a good spot to fade Copper. It's 16.5, which just feels too high to me. You could argue maybe she's the one that steps up and helps them win this game. But I think 16.5 is pushing it, especially a minus 102 for a player that's been going under regularly lately. Give me Copper under 16.5 points, minus 102.
So I know we were talking about lead the series and rebounding, and Asia's minus 340.
Okay.
I think that was the price. That was the price,
yeah,
right?
That sounds right.
So she's minus 340, but Scott, in game 1, she's plus 110 to lead the game in rebounds.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
Yeah, I'll take that for sure. Scott, listen to her rebounds against the Mercury. First of all, I won't even count the 4 times that she went over this line for 2024 because that was a completely different Mercury team. Just this season in 3 games she's played, 18, 16, 13.
Okay.
Am I missing something? Plus 110?
No, it's a good price.
Lead the game?
It's a very good price.
Oh, dude, what? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I like Jackie a lot. Give me Jackie over her points.
That's at 16.5, by the way.
Yes, I feel good about her Finals MVP chances. I think it starts with scoring. And you close out on Asia Wilson, opens up Jackie Young. I trust her to go in there, come out with 18, maybe even 20. I also like Sammy Wickham. I think she has a good game on the road. Sammy's actually really solid for this team on the road, Scott. She has been over 7.5 points in 54% of her road games this season in 6 of the last 10. She's had, 18 in Vegas earlier this year? Yeah, 18 in Vegas earlier this year. So not foreign, not afraid of the moment. Played this Vegas team as a member of Mercury, member of the Storm, member of the Liberty. Very familiar. And Vegas sucks at guarding the 3-point line. So Sammy comes in, gives his team a spark, lights it up from 3, gets over that.
I have a very degen play, which I like. involving Asia. It's going to fade Asia under half a 3, plus 100. I think it's a great price. I'm looking at Asia's numbers, and it's been up and down in terms of threes, but she's had less than 2 attempts in 5 of the last 6 games. So she might only attempt 1. For the record, by the way, the Mercury are allowing the fewest threes per game to opposing centers this season. And she has made 0 threes in 3 straight against the Mercury. Only 2 attempts in those 3 games combined.
At even money?
Even money. She might only attempt 1 in the entire game. So
and you just got a 40% chance of that one going in.
Yeah. So give me the under half a 3 on Asia at plus 100.
All right.
That's my DGen prop for the show.
Anything else that tickles the fancy? I would love to give out a Dewana Bonner prop, but
I wanted to fade her, but I couldn't find
with how broken she's been, I don't even want to deal with it, because guess what, Scott? I said don't play her. Let's not play the under last time, and sure enough, she just a random explosion. Like, she just randomly goes off. Like, she remembers how to play basketball again after sucking for the past week.
Yeah, she had 13 in that game. I like the under 8.5 points for Bonner, but maybe final she gets up for it. Who knows?
All right. I'll wait to see what Satsu does in the first finals game. I'm not there yet. All right. Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Lock, dog, underdog. For my lock, what do I feel best about in game 1 of these finals? I think, man, you know what? I don't even do this. This is something you would do. Give me Asia to lead the game in rebounds at even plus 110. Like, what?
Yeah, she's minus 340 for the series. It makes perfect sense to take this.
Like, I don't understand why it's plus money, and I'm just not. I'm not computing. It's not clocking to me. So I will take her most rebounds plus 110 for my lock. For my dog, I'm going in on Jackie early. Give me Jackie Young, 20 plus points, plus 150.
All right. For my lock, you know what? I'll go for the DGen play. Why not? Give me Asia. No threes at plus 100.
Jesus Christ, that would.
I think it's a great price. I mean, you're looking at a player who I know has been shooting 50% from 3 this postseason, but she's averaging about 1.3 per game. She doesn't attempt any. I feel like it's a good spot here. The Mercury are allowing the fewest threes per game to opposing centers. She's made 0 and 3 straight against the Mercury. And going through the last couple of home games, I mean, so far, she has made 0 threes in 2 of the last 4 home playoff games. So I think it's a good spot. She's attempted in 4 straight home playoff games less than 2 threes. So it's a volume play for me. I know Asia's shooting 50% from 3 in the postseason. What do you think she is normally? Like 30-something percent?
No, she's 40. She's 40.
Okay.
I looked into it the other day. She's 40.
That's fine. So if I'm picking 1 attempt, then the math checks out at even money. So give me the even money on no threes for Asia as my lock for the show. If she makes a 3 on the first possession, I might just collapse in my chair. But I do think it's worth something. So I'll go for that as my lock. Now, for my dog.
What's the worst beat? If she makes it the first possession, or if she has some random half-court buzzer beater at the end of the half?
I think the half court's probably the worst.
Yeah, because what? Who hits those? Like,
no, nobody ever hits those. I mean, she doesn't take those. Usually, Jackie's the one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. So So how did this even happen? Like, that would be the one for me, Scott.
Yeah, for my dog, I was wondering if I wanted to go for the Mercury money line or if I wanted to go for the Mercury 1-10. Because do I think the Mercury can actually blow this team out on the road? Probably no, but you never know. We saw the Fever blow out the Aces in game 1. Give me the Mercury money line. I see Novig. Shout out to our sponsor, Novig. Plus 151. Like the price. I'll go for that as my dog. DraftKings.
South Carolina grad on the other side of that.
DraftKings at 136. Novig is 151. Thank you for the 15 cents. Give me the Mercury money line plus 151.
This is why you use Novig, promo code SGPN. All right. Underdog.
Well, I know you want Asia rebounds, so we can do that. Or unless you want to go for PR.
Yeah.
You want the PR?
Yeah, let's do PR. That's fun. All right. Let's see here. Asia Wilson. Points, rebounds. Jesus Christ, Scott. It's really the finals. Higher, 37.5. Dog, if she just has like an insane rebound game, like, what? Okay. Let's go with...
Did you want to do anything involving a fade of either Bonner or anybody like that? I mean, because that could be an option where you don't want to take Bonner for a fade for a lock or dog, but for an underdog entry, that's worth it at that point. Because I do think 8.5 is pretty high.
It just doesn't feel right. I'd rather do I'm not Satu. I'd rather do Copper if we do that.
Do you want to do Copper lower 16.5?
They got 15.5.
Okay. All right.
All right. We'll throw Copper in there.
Do you want Satu 1.5 threes?
Mm.
There's been volume.
Yeah, but I just... You know what? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
She's still plus 115. All right. And plus, it's good when you have one of those plays that you just don't feel amazing about.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So, all right. Asia Wilson, higher, 37.5 points and rebounds. Kalia Copper, lower, 15.5 points. Satu Sabli, higher, 1.5 3-pointers made. Satu does have good games against the Aces, by the way. 5.68x. $100 gets you $568 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. All right, Scott. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. I have a baseball show in an hour, so I'll be busy doing baseball stuff. But game one, looking forward to it. You got the baseball playoffs. You have WNBA Finals. You have the NFL, college football. Good time to be a sports fan.
Very good time to be a sports fan. All right. He's at Retro Radio. I'm at really __. Make sure you give me a follow. Give him X on X. Give Scott a follow as well. SGPN NBA. Give us a follow. YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast, where you can catch the WNBA Gambling Podcast, the NBA Gambling Podcast. NBA will be back very soon. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast for the WNBA Gambling Podcast. We're running short on time here. It's almost up. With that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to know.